Chinese martial arts is often dramatized in films. We see the heroine outbeat his opponent using the sheer force of his body, but there's so much more to the traditional art form, and we're here to find out. Martial arts, better known as Kung Fu in the West, has long been a part of Chinese combat culture. It was created for self-defense, hunting tactics, and military training in ancient times.
You have
to understand what the characters of Wu and Shu means before you can truly understand martial arts. Wu consists of the character zhi, which means stop, and ge, which is a type of weapon. So the true essence of martial arts is to stop wars. Essentially, practicing Kung Fu is to protect oneself and defend against attacks.
But in recent years, the martial arts have become an international competitive sport that takes place every 2 years. The term wushu was taken from the Mandarin pronunciation to become the official name for the full-contact, barehanded and weapons form. But it is far from how Kung Fu is portrayed in movies.
The Kung Fu in movies uses special effects. It's not the martial arts we practice in real life. It is art, exaggerated. About 4 or 5 years ago, an American student of mine saw the movie Hero. The characters in that movie could fly, so he came to China to train with me. We began by practicing in circles, but after 3 lessons, he said Kung Fu is completely different than what I thought. So my teacher has said, in order to fly, you have to borrow force from other objects first. For example, how can a cat get on top of the roof if it cannot fly? What it does is jump from a tree to a windowsill before it can climb to the top of the roof.
Master Liu has been training in the arts for over 50 years, under legendary masters since he was a child. In 2007, he was given the designation of an 8th degree martial artist in China, one of only 38 people with this honor.
The Shifu creates the method, okay? And then sometimes he makes some demonstration about the movements, how we have to do it, and it's amazing.
In a typical class, Li Da will instruct the lessons, overseen by Master Liu Hongshi. Liu offers technical insight, corrections, and methods for practice.
It depends on which movement, but essentially every movement there's a defensive element and there's an aggressive element. So our Shifu always says, everything you do, you should be able to block something, and at the same time you need to counterattack.
Long fist is the most widely seen of the wushu art. It is also one of the more difficult forms, which include speed, power, and accuracy. It requires a lot of flexibility and athleticism, and is often practiced starting from a young age.
Then you have to do it over and over again so that it becomes second nature. Otherwise, if it's not second nature, you can't really use it in a situation where you're on a street or you're in a tough situation. You don't have time to think about it. You don't have time to warm up. It needs to come very naturally to you.
There are over 200 styles of wushu, but despite its start in China, its popularity in modern times has begun to fade, making it harder than ever to preserve the traditional art form.
I think society is not working for things like traditional Chinese martial arts. It's really a dying art in many ways. Martial arts, traditional Chinese Kung Fu, is a slow thing. It's not fast food. And if you look at the way we train, it wasn't very sexy. It was just, and we do this all the time, over and over again. So it doesn't fit with modern culture as well. So, but we've been doing this Kung Fu Club for 10 years, and part of that is trying to preserve this old stuff.
By continuing to reach the likes of foreigners and locals, the Tianyi Kung Fu Club hopes Chinese martial arts will not be lost forever. Reporting for East West Sports on BON, I'm Sophia Sang.